likely today. Otherwise, cloudy skies expected. Daytime highs approaching 80. Winds out of the south, 10 to 20 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight. Slight chance of thunderstorms. Lows dip down to about 69. Get weather anytime by calling 824-6101 or online at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. Currently 72.
WTIM.
You're listening to WTIM, your information station. Time now for your expanded local news. I'm Reed Kamai. The Taylorville City Council is set to meet this evening at 7 at the Municipal Building for its regular monthly meeting. During the meeting, Mayor Berry, alongside the City Council, will give recognition to the Taylorville Junior High School Scholastic Bowl team. Other discussions include an ordinance to provide for the purchase of 5 vehicles with associated equipment and accessories for the Taylorville Street and Sewer Department, as well as authorizing the borrowing of funds. The Taylorville City Council members will also discuss a motion to bid and or advertise a vacant second shift position as the plant operator at the water treatment plant. Taylorville Mayor Bruce Berry will also see a motion directing him to sign the pay application received from Kinney Contractors for $268,650, and will also see a motion to approve some changes in the staffing at the Taylorville Fire Department. At the end of the meeting, there will be a motion to approve and or ratify payment of bills equaling $601,567.60, as well as updates from Mayor Berry and updates from the city attorney. The meeting is open to the public, and there will be a section for public comments. Stay tuned for updates following the meeting. Shelbyville High School seniors officially turned their tassels Saturday during the 2026 commencement ceremony, celebrating the accomplishments of the graduating class before family, friends, and community members. The ceremony opened with a welcome from Shelbyville High School principal Kyle Ladd, who talked about Anthony Chikaluski and his impact on him and his graduation.
Andy Chikaluski was a city council member, a history teacher in the Shelbyville School District. He volunteered to chaperone countless honor flight missions with local veterans. He registered thousands of new voters, and he helped to pioneer the Sister City Exchange Program with Okawa, Japan. But before Andy Chikaluski was all of those things and more, he was a child living in the country of Poland. In 1940, the German Nazis loaded Andy, a young boy at that time, and his family onto a train that would soon arrive at Auschwitz concentration camp. There, they experienced unspeakable tragedy, but by the grace of God, he survived. When he turned 18, he bought a one-way ticket to Schenectady, New York, earned a soccer scholarship to a university in Chicago, met a beautiful girl who later became his wife, and applied for a teaching job in a little town in central Illinois called Shelbyville. In my graduation card, he wrote the first verse from a beautiful piece of work written by poet William Blake. To see a world in a grain of sand and heaven in a wildflower. Honestly, I've been trying to figure out what exactly he meant by that ever since. And if he were alive today, I think he would tell me that extraordinary things are often hidden in ordinary places, that you are not defined by your circumstances, that history and human connection matter and always will.
Students were recognized throughout the ceremony for academic achievement, including top 10 recognition, academic excellence awards, and military recognition. The program also featured speeches from the class salutatorians and valedictorian. Salutatorians Lily Ann Price and Sarah Tynan spoke to their classmates about the memories, friendships, and lessons learned during their years at Shelbyville High School, while encouraging graduates to look ahead to the future with confidence.
When I think of the future, I remember a quote that I recently heard. It says, "Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards." There are many things that are unknown about the future, things we can't know until they're finished. This may bring us fears about what is to come, but it also opens the door to new opportunities. If we know exactly what the future holds for us, we don't have the ability to set goals or live in the moment because we're just anticipating what's going to happen next. The unknown of the future gives us the opportunity for excitement. Instead of fearing it, we should embrace that unknown and allow it to shape us into the best versions of ourselves, because the future gives us the opportunity to do so. Looking to the past that forms us, we can see that the lives we're living today were once unknown to us. We all had hopes and expectations for the future, and that future has now become our present.
Valedictorian Elizabeth Kirkbride reflected on the class's journey and thanked family members, teachers, and classmates for their support throughout the years.
The journey won't be easy. There is never anything easy about space or about life. There will always be an equation to life that you can't quite crack, or a patch of dark matter blocking the view to the end goal, but what matters is how we handle the situation. Will we panic at the control panel, or will we do everything we can to get to our destination? When the goal lies just beyond, just a step farther than we anticipated, we may pick ourselves up and keep going. We are piloting our way to our next big thing, and part of piloting is knowing how to handle hard situations. And when the times get tough and we can't solve the problems ourselves, we can always call back to mission control. The ones at home that are there to give us a nudge when we run out of fuel, or the engine is jammed, or we just need a familiar voice in an unfamiliar world. They're there to make the journey that much smoother. The turbulence of life will feel a little less rocky with their help. The advice from them is invaluable, and their helping hand is always stretched out. Never be afraid to hold it.
Following the presentation of diplomas, the class of 2026 was officially recognized as graduates of Shelbyville High School. The ceremony concluded with a benediction from Meredith Chambers and the recessional A Bryce Canyon Overture. The ceremony was also broadcast on Cruisin' 98.3 WSVZ. Many congratulations to all the graduates. And now, a word from Taylorville Community Credit Union.
Looking to save more and stress less? This is Will Perkins. At Taylorville Community Credit Union, we're here to help you build a stronger financial future with great loan and deposit rates, convenient locations, and service from people you know and trust. We're member-owned, member-focused, and proud to serve anyone who lives or works in Christian, Montgomery, or Shelby counties. Discover the credit union difference. TCCU is your partner in financial success. Member NCUA.
Students in the Christian County CEO program are celebrating the end of a successful year of founding and pitching their businesses and achieving sales. The student entrepreneurs showcased their work at the annual CEO trade show last month. Students not only built businesses and hopefully turned profits, but also learned valuable skills to take with them going forward. Charlie Craggs is among the Christian County CEO students. She showed the community her business, Wicked Candles and Melts.
And I created chemical-free candles, and I completely changed up my entire branding and everything about my candles just recently, like in March, so I can bring more product to the community, I guess. And they are also in forms of whipped candles, which are not something most people see now, but there's something new, and I'm glad to show the community that.
No, that'll be exciting. Talk about why someone would consider, whipped candles or, any of the other ways kind of you put them together as opposed to, what they might see at a conventional candle store.
So there's really no difference in a whipped candle rather than a regular candle, but just how they look, I guess they look more cool and more appealing to buy rather than a regular candle. So I guess that's why.
Alex Davis presented his business, Davis Holiday Lighting.
And over the last winter season, I provided Christmas lights and installed Christmas lights for a couple dozen homes in the community. And I plan on doing that again next year. And my goal is to show off some of my previous projects and show the lights that I will be selling and the other services I offer.
Okay, nice. So Christmas lights, I know now is not really the time you would mostly see them, but maybe folks want to think about it right before the season starts. Is that kind of your thinking there?
Yeah, always got to keep it top of mind because top of mind is the best thing to have, really. And so if I can keep people, maybe get a quote, maybe get them on my schedule for September and October to talk to them again, that's all I want. And so I can reach back out later in the season when it's more in their focus.
As for how the students have evolved through the academic year, Cragg says being in the CEO program has improved her public speaking abilities.
I feel like this school year for the CEO program has been great, especially seeing myself grow throughout the year has been awesome to see. And I've always loved one thing I always think about from the CEO program is public speaking. And we are here today, I've always been a talker. I've always loved talking. But one thing that I've grown through the CEO program is public speaking, and I feel as if that is much needed throughout your future and what you're going to be doing with your life, no matter where you go. And just like my business in general has grown so much, and I'm really excited to show it off tonight.
Davis says the heavily seasonal nature of his business has given him the opportunity to let his classmates' successes inspire him.
It's been an amazing experience. I think with my business being a seasonal business, so obviously like November, December, January was like really big time for me. It was interesting, like when I like my business kind of took a back seat because it was in a season where there was no business. It was really cool to see everyone else's business like really start to blossom. And it was like really motivating to me and really like exciting to me to see like, oh, all of the hard work is like, it's paying off, and all this learning, all this experience is really like paying off for everyone. And so I'm really excited to show off my own business, but also like to see it's a culmination of a whole year of hard work tonight at the trade show. And I'm really just excited to see the experience for everyone.
Neil Hohenstein is the program facilitator. He enjoys seeing the creative business ideas his students devise each year.
Creativity, it's a muscle like anything else, and we talk about that. By the time we get into high school, like we set and we do our thing, and we really don't get to practice that. So we talk about that pretty regularly. So the creativity, we think about maybe art, but like there's a lot of creativity in how you approach business, how you're able to profit, how you're able to fill a need. So creativity fills a role in that. So we actively think about that, and who has some ideas like, what are some big problems that need fixed? And the bigger problem you fix, the more money you can make. So the creativity, it's great to see that come together. And like Alex had mentioned, a lot of times students don't know what they're going to do, and that is completely fine. So Charlie knew what she was going to do early on, but 90% of the students that come through the program don't have a clue. So they're getting to see from people in the community what business is, and like, oh, I kind of like that.
More information on Christian County CEO and the trade show is available at christiancountyczeo.com. Charlie Craggs, Alex Davis, and Neil Hohenstein appeared as guests on the WTIM Morning Show. And now, a word from Heartland Bank and Trust.
Your son was 3 when you planted that tree in your backyard. Now he's grown, planting seeds and making memories with his own kids. Let Heartland Bank help you grow more memories with banking options for every stage of your life. Welcome, former CNB customers. We're your community bank. Heartland Bank. We build relationships that nurture and grow your dreams. Visit us today at hbtbank.com, member FDIC.
The organization Women Inspiring Success and Empowerment, or WISE Central Illinois, is preparing further events and initiatives to support local women and women-owned businesses. A block party in September is their newest plan and accompanies their scholarships, business loans, and other events. This comes on the back end of their successful fashion show, which brought in crucial funding for their causes. The block party is set for Saturday, September 12th, and follows their Women Supporting Women campaign. WISE Vice President Kayla McGraw, who also manages the escape room house behind locked doors, says vendors will be set up just off the Taylorville Square.
In the daytime, there will be a vendor market. You can show up, shop it. It's kind of like a chili fest, but more of on a very, very small scale. So you can shop some local people in town. And then afterwards, we'll close that portion and move it to a block party where they're going to do a quarter auction inside, going to be some other auction items available. This is all going to be hosted over at Susie's on South Main, just off of the square. And that is taking place on September 12th of this year. First attempt. So we will see how it goes. We're excited.
As for the Women Supporting Women campaign, WISE members and other attendees visit women-owned businesses to learn more about them.
We're able to highlight local women-owned businesses that are either owned or operated, and we get a chance to exclusively go into their business, learn a little bit about them, and then figure out how we as an organization can continue to support them in our community. The first stop for this year's Women Supporting Women campaign will actually be behind locked doors.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, we're excited to have the rest of our organization members, as well as members of the public, join us to get a little bit of a sneak peek behind what we do at the escape room here in town.
Wise offers loans for local women-owned businesses along with college scholarships. McGraw and Wise president Tyler Frump say they gave out 23 scholarships this year, up from just 4 the first year Wise did so.
And then we still have the interest-free microloans available for women to apply. That will open this summer, and that will be due by September 15th. If anybody is interested, interest-free microloans available for women-owned businesses of Taylorville.
Yeah, Tyler was kind of mentioning the scholarships. Yesterday, we had the honor and privilege of attending the Taylorville High School Senior Award Night. And Tyler and I were lucky enough to present 21 scholarships to just the high schoolers alone. But through our organization total, we will be giving out 23 scholarships this year. And we are incredibly proud of the women that we're giving out these scholarships to. They are very deserving.
Wise raises the funds used for these endeavors through such events as their annual fashion show. The 2026 edition took place in April and brought in 5 figures for their programs.
You know, we're unable to put on these incredible programs that our nonprofit provides without the help of our community. So we literally couldn't do this without members like you. We really appreciate it.
And I had a fun time there.
Awesome. Well, our nonprofit stands for Women Inspiring Success and Empowerment. And at that spring fashion show, we actually had 45 models model clothing from 14 different businesses of our community, which was really cool. This year, our pool for our models actually included out-of-state professional models who traveled in. So we heard from Crystal a little bit about Chili Fest. We know that pulls in people for Taylorville all the time, but kind of cool to see our small nonprofit is kind of having a large pool too. But this year we had a very successful fundraiser. We raised over $11,000, which will be going towards our programs.
More information on Wise is available on the organization's Facebook page. Tyler Frump and Kayla McGraw appeared as guests on the WTIM morning show. Last week, the Better Business Bureau highlighted National Scam Survivor Day. The recognition was created a couple years ago to give scam victims a chance to combat the shame surrounding fraud and to promote support resources they can access, and that's according to BBB investigator Don O'Brien. According to the 2024 BBB Scam Tracker Risk Report, the first year that National Scam Survivor Day was organized, about 53% of people reported feeling anxiety, stress, or trauma after being targeted by a scam. You can find the Scam Survivor Toolkit at bbbmarketplacetrust.org/scam-survivor. The National Federation of State High School Associations is touting a new online course for students that provides education and resources on mental wellness. You can find it at nfhslearn.com, and that's according to the association's Davis Whitfield. May is National Mental Health Awareness Month. Now to obituaries, which can be found at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. 96-year-old Joan Adele Fione of Taylorville died May 10th. The funeral service is today at 10 at St. Mary's Catholic Church in Taylorville. Burial will be at Oak Hill Cemetery. Arrangements are being handled by Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. And 90-year-old Jewel S. Steele Tipsword of Sorrento died last Monday. Visitation is this Wednesday from 11 till 1 at Sorrento Municipal Center in Sorrento. The funeral service will immediately follow. Interment will be at Sunnyside Cemetery. Arrangements are being handled by Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. A quick look at the weather. We're expecting showers and thunderstorms before 5 today and a high near 80. Get local news anytime at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com and every hour as well right here on